Alright, so this week I'm going to take you guys out on the water just for a little bit. We didn't do the whole filming out there, but I wanted to get you back out on the water, show you a little bit about what we do when we're out, and I'm going to talk about the market. There's some stuff going on out there, a lot of insight given in a lot of places, and you don't know what to make of it, and I'm going to help try to clean that up for you a little bit. We're going to talk specifically about what that means to here in the Cape Coral Fort Myers area and how it's going to affect you. We're going to be talking about living in Florida and how the buyer's market seems to be improving. We're getting after that next. Hey everybody, my name's Craig Cunha. I'm a real estate agent here in Southwest Florida. And if you're looking for a channel to tell you a little bit more about what it's like to live, play, eat, sleep, and buy real estate on the Gulf Coast, this is the channel for you. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the little bell to make sure you're notified every time a new video comes out. And to get your search started now, through the MLS like we do, go to ournextfloridahome.com, get yourself registered there. You'll be able to start previewing some of the properties that you may eventually end up living in one day. I'm getting calls from people every single day and I absolutely love it. And if you're one of those people that you just have a few more questions you need to get cleared up, you've got to call, text, or email because I've got your back when moving to the Gulf Coast. All right, so like I said, we were out on the water this week, and I had a lot of comments from people about how much they liked the videos when we were out on the boat. So I wanted to at least give you that context. I wasn't ready to record, so I'm sorry I couldn't do the whole thing out there, but hopefully what's behind me is enticing enough for you. We did a little fishing while we were out there. I had my boy with me, my first mate, and he was slaying it. He had a sand trout. This thing was massive. Great fight. Also had a very large mangrove snapper. We were getting snapper all day long. So if you're looking for fishing spots all over this area, you could pull up to almost any spot and catch something. But this was a hot spot for us. We had a great time, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So if you're going to be coming to Southwest Florida to do a little fishing, there's tons of places to do it and tons of places to put your boat. We can talk about that more in the future. Now, one more thing you're going to find out about being on a boat and out there doing things like this fishing is while it's hot in many places in the summertime, as soon as you hit that water, it's gorgeous. I mean, literally nothing can go sideways out there, and there's always seems to be a breeze. So if you're looking to cool down and you're looking for a little outdoor entertainment, hit the boat. All right, so let's talk about the housing market a little bit. You know, there's all kinds of scare stuff going on. It's blowing up, it's blowing out. You know, the scarcity mentality, the rates are blowing up and it's going to get too expensive. We just can't do this. There's so many narratives out there, and I want to help kind of clarify what I'm seeing from my standpoint and what it's going to translate to for you. All right, so you're probably hearing a lot of different things about what you should do, maybe people's opinions. Maybe you shouldn't be buying a house right now because the rates are high. Maybe you should wait to see if the price is correct and come down. Maybe this, maybe that. Well, I'm going to tell you, Forbes can't even completely get it right in one article, because throughout this article, they're talking about 78% of the buyers are backing off. They're just getting out of the market. They're pulling out. They don't want anything to do with it. And then you'll see all over YouTube, everybody jumps on the bandwagon to record a video about how terrible this is, because on YouTube, it's the bad videos, and I should know, I made one before, did very well. The bad videos are what people are looking for. They want all the negatives. They want that narrative. Well, I'm not going to give you all of that narrative. Sure, there's some things we have to talk about, but it still has a kind of silver lining to it for those folks that still need a home and want a home. It's going to take a lot of your competition off the table. That's number one. We are going to see a little bit more inventory, and you're going to see some inventory come back into your price range that maybe wasn't there before. So there are some good things. But what I want to talk about this Forbes report about is there is conflicting information being given in that it says that 42% of the people are going to pull out of the buying market if the rates go between 4 and 5%. Then it's another 27% that are going to fall out if it gets between 6 and 7%. And another 14% they're going to fall out if it's 8% or more. But as we scroll down to another part of the article, it talks about 55% of the people are still going to buy a home even with rising interest rates if they can get the mortgage. So let's do the math real quick. We take the 55 and the 42 and the 27 and the 14. I think that adds up to 138%. Now, last I knew, 100% was all we go to, right? So here again, lots of conflicting information. All I'm going to tell you is that if this still makes sense for you, if you need to move, I just got a call today regarding another potential client that's going to be moving to the area from California as a nurse, wants to know how she goes about the process. And you know what? We're going to help her out. We're going to help her move here. She wants to get here. She wants out of the politics and all the stuff that's going on out there. And she even knows she's going to make significantly lower income coming here. But she's still going to do it. And she's still going to get a mortgage. So it depends on your situation and what you are trying to accomplish. Don't listen to all the naysayers. Don't listen to all the reports. Do what's best for you. Get a lender you can depend on. Make sure that those rates are sticking for you. And with the ability to lock rates, you can still get in affordably in some cases. You can still buy down rates in some cases. Might cost you a little bit of money on the front end, but if you're going to have that mortgage for a number of years, that could actually benefit you. So don't let it scare you off. And again, you pay a premium to live in Florida because of what we experience on the daily. Now, another interesting thing in that same vein is talking about the pricing, because you'll find in the reports, the statistics, I pulled them up this morning, our median price is right around $425,000 for Cape Coral, single family home. If I just search out single family homes that are under the median price, I come up with 213 results. Yeah, 213 opportunities for you to buy a house under the median price. They start at $264. Now, is it a perfect home? Probably not. Is it older, might need some repairs, smaller square footage? Sure, most likely. But you have over 200 opportunities to purchase something that's going to be under the median price. And the reason why I keep mentioning that median price is that I took 325 as a number. I didn't even go to the median. Take the 325, put 10% down. Your payment on 30 years is well under what our rental rates are right now. With rents being $2,000 more for a 2-2, we went through that in a previous video, a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment that might be 1,000 square feet, if you're lucky, is over $2,000 a month. You can get a mortgage on one of these homes for less than that. So if you are truly determined to be here and that's affordable, don't let it scare you off. You can still live here. Now, you thought rentals were ridiculous. Here, I found this ad in the Key West section of Facebook, and there is a shed for rent. Yes, they converted a shed into a studio, I guess, and they're asking $1,500 a month for this shed. So if you think it's bad here, it can always get worse. Now, back on that thread of believing the information that you're reading and where it's coming from, there's a list of the 100 most expensive cost of living cities. And Southwest Florida had a couple on the list. Naples was in there, Marco Island was in there, and Fort Myers. Yeah, Fort Myers made the list at number 100. So they're saying these places are the most expensive for your bills, for living, cost of living. And I looked at the numbers they're coming up with, and Fort Myers was showing $1,852 for everything. Yeah, this list said it was inclusive of cable and water and sewer and electric and rent or mortgage. Well, we just got done talking about what rent and mortgage is, right? So how can $1,852 be the number for your expenses on a monthly basis? That's already eaten up right away with wherever you're living. So these reports, while they look good on paper, maybe that big bold headline looks like something you should be reading, this information is useless. Now, because we're on this topic of rentals, I want to talk about what's going on with our housing here. Yes, as I said, we're seeing some inventory changes, but what we're also seeing is a number of rental areas that are popping up. There is a duplex rental community that's going to be put in. This land was just purchased the other day. It's going to go right up in the northeast area of Cape Coral, and it's going to be all duplexes for rent. Then we have an apartment building. It's a massive apartment complex, actually. It's going to be right off of Chiquita Boulevard. That is going to be hundreds of units, and it too will become available. Then the other project that's up off of Pine Island Road, again, hundreds of units. Now you hear me say units. Yes, these are all condos, apartments, whatever. So you have a community pool and that. I was actually talking to a gentleman earlier today, and we were discussing an Airbnb. And he's asking me, Airbnb, well, is that going to get overly saturated? Because, I hear a lot of people want or have Airbnbs. Here's the big difference. The housing issue that I just talked about with people coming in and renting, they're renting condos with shared pools. Okay, so a rental in a condo with the shared amenities is different than renting a house with a private pool and possibly on a saltwater canal so you can rent a boat and take it out. Airbnbs are very, very popular here because of the fact that, number one, you have a really awesome lifestyle to share with people. I mean, if they can take a boat out and come home and jump in the pool to cool off in the evening, have some drinks out with the lanai lit up and the cool air blowing through, that's a dream. Of course you're going to pay for that. You're not going to get that at a condo. So these individual units, you want to secure one of them. Then, on top of that, Cape Coral doesn't have an HOA to restrict you. A homeowners association many times will tell you how many times you can rent a unit out and for how long, minimum time frames. Fort Myers, that's one of their biggest problems with Airbnbs. There are too many communities. Communities have HOAs. HOAs will tell you no. So Cape Coral is the place that people flock to because it gives them this lifestyle. And we also have over 400 miles of canals, which is more than anywhere in the world. So you get the lifestyle, you get the hassle-free ownership of the rental, and you maybe make some income on the side. All right, so there's buyer's remorse and there's remodeler's remorse. Yeah, that's a new term now too. Well, apparently what's happening, obviously buyer's remorse in this market, some people might buy something and turn around and say, man, did we just spend too much money for that? Or, boy, did we settle for the wrong neighborhood? Maybe we should have waited it out. You know what? That question could just linger forever. We don't know what this market's going to do. But in remodeling, the same thing's happening because the prices of things is so ridiculous. I have a client that was putting a pool into their property, and when they signed for the contract to do it, it was $70,000 to put this pool in. At the end, when everything was finished and they had to sign off on the final paperwork, it was now $100,000. Yes, $30,000 in this acceleration, this escalation clause that they put into their paperwork. Yeah, that's extreme, $30,000. This $100,000 pool, which pre-pandemic was about $45,000. So more than double for the same thing, that's what's happening. That could give you remodeler's remorse. And I'm kind of treading through a situation now. I've already said I'm going to wait on the pool situation because 6 figures for a pool right now is not really what I want to do. So I'm thinking maybe a lanai extension. Come to find now, to extend my lanai, I'm at like $40,000. That's ridiculous. That used to be the price of the pool, the cage, and everything. So yes, it has gotten very difficult, and this is exactly what they mean by remodeler's remorse, because if you spend that kind of money, or even if you're spending double on a bathroom or a kitchen that you know you could have gotten for a different price previously, you have to really think about, would you be upset knowing that you had to pay so much more to get it now, or would you just enjoy the fruits of that change and forget about whatever the price was? Now, what does make sense when you come to remodeling is there's this home hardening, it's a tax exemption that's going to be coming up. It starts July 1st of this year and it goes for 2 years. Yeah, June 30th of 2024, you have that much time to replace your windows and doors with new storm rated things. So if you want impact windows on a home that has old windows, maybe jalousie style windows that just don't roll out properly anymore, you save the tax part of the purchase with this program. So if that's something you're considering doing, you're going to not only improve the overall security of the home, and you're also going to see the efficiencies of your electric because there's an insulating factor. You're going to have more peace because it's quieter with all the ambient noise also kept out. And on top of all of that, your insurance company is going to say, hey, how about a nice discount? Because you just fortified your home even further. So you're going to save a lot of money with this program. So consider making that change in the next 2 years if you'd like to be a part of that. Another exciting thing happening in the housing world is new construction is starting to get inventory. I did say inventory. That means available homes. Ed got one this week. Congratulations, Ed. We have him under contract with a new construction home. And with these homes, we're also seeing incentives. They're giving a lot of money for you to purchase a home with them. They've also started discounting the homes. I saw one builder come down as much as $40,000 on the home. Then their incentives were almost $17,000, helping towards closing costs and other things. So if you're looking for a great opportunity to get a new construction home, they're starting to come back around. Also within those programs, they have a rate lock incentive. That means, yes, you can lock in maybe something in the 4.5 range. You don't have to get the 5+. So talk to some of these builders. I can clue you into whoever I would recommend. This particular builder, I would absolutely recommend them because I've recommended them over and over and over, and every client has been happy with them. Hell, I even have a home that they built. But in any case, inventory is definitely coming back around, and it's still going to come in stages. This builder doesn't do escalation clauses, but they also don't release homes until they are at the stage to release them, where they've already taken on all the expense, the major expense of the home. That's when they release it. That's when they put you under contract, and hopefully you can lock in one of these rates and lock in that price while it's still lower. All right, so that's a little bit more about living in Florida, and yes, the buyer's market does appear to be improving. So if you're looking for a home, don't give up yet. It looks like it's just around the corner for you. And if you need any more information, would like to know more about what it's like living in Florida, check out one of these other videos. And if you've got a specific question for me that you need an answer to, you've got to call, text, or email because I've got your back when moving to the Gulf Coast.